Good morning, traders. Richard here doing a quick Ichimoku cloud chart market update of the Xetra Dax Index. Got the 4-hour Ichimoku chart up here. And the last update we run about here, and then I highlighted the potential for the DAX to test support at the particular cloud chart rebound zone, and that's between 15,523, 15,462 and 15,482. That cloud chart support zone is also a front-end cloud chart support level there. You can see the top end of the cloud there as well as that one. The DAX did manage to rebound from that area. Gapped up there, try to close that gap, and there's another gap. So we've got two gaps here, and the DAX tends to gap a lot and then close the gaps at some point in time, but this is the 4-hour chart. So now it's running into a little bit of resistance here at the top end of the cloud, a little bit extended here from the top end of the cloud. We can see 15,538, 15,990 key resistance zones, and then not far off the 16,284. 87 zone, so it's very close to a major resistance zone. Now, where does this resistance zone come from? If we go back to the daily, you can see this previous highs here of March, beginning of March is key resistance zone, as well as these levels back here that we go way back in the chart. You can see this cluster of resistance, old cloud chart resistance levels back here in February of 2022, as well as these 15,990 of December 2021. So that's kind of the big picture there with these critical resistance zones. We're now digging into that, into these levels. So there's significant consolidation risk for the DAX back down to the top end of the cloud here over the next couple of weeks. But let's turn into a bit of a cleaner chart. Looking at the weekly, this 15,611 was a key resistance zone. The question now is if it's going to become a support zone, or if this resistance zone between 15,611 and 16,000 is going to hold, and then we get a backwards consolidation risk back to the 15,180 turning line of the cloud, and then the top end of the cloud, and ultimately this 14,1, which is the top end of the cloud chart support zone, a major support zone. So that's just for the second and third quarter kind of big picture levels. But you can see here we run after a very strong rebound here back in the third quarter of 2022, broke through the top end cloud chart resistance, snapped back, found support at this front end cloud chart support zone. I'll just put a line in there. And this old cloud chart support level, then a nice strong rally, hit the 15,611, stood there for a couple of weeks, consolidated back, and then made another attempt to break past that zone. But now the question is, are we going to get past the 16,028 resistance zone, or is going to this 15,611 turn into new support zone? So we do expect some form of consolidation of this entire move. This is somewhat of an upward continuation pattern complete, and there's downside risk back down to 14,753 at the front end of the cloud here. For the next couple of weeks. So keep that in mind. That's the picture on the weekly. If resistance holds, we're going to consolidate back to first to 15,180 and then 14,753, the front end of the cloud. Turning to the dailies, a little bit more of a cleaner chart here. Beautiful rebound back here in September. Strong rally, broke through the cloud chart resistance, rallied, become a little bit extended, consolidated back to rebound from the cloud, top end of the cloud here. Another couple of buy signals there. A sell signal up here as it became a little bit extended. Snapped back, rebounded from a cluster of cloud chart support levels there. You can see that level there and that level there as well. Provided some nice swing trade opportunities back up. Broke through the cloud chart resistance. Made another attempt to gap past the cloud. So now there's a risk that that gap can close at some point over the next couple of quarters, couple of weeks. And that gap is just above the top end of the cloud. So if this resistance level holds up here at 16,0208 and 15,611, then there's a high probability that we're going to snap back, close that gap, and possibly test this front end cloud chart support level in this kind of consolidation on the daily. Turning to the 4-hour, we can see here back in March, the March low here, this 14,483 and 14,527 provided a great swing trade back up from the support levels there. The cloud chart support levels held, and then the target was the bottom end of the cloud. Yeah, got to the bottom end of the cloud, snapped back, and then rebounded from the standard line of the cloud, then gapped up, broke past the top end of the cloud and then had a nice strong rally from there. Now a little bit extended from the top end of the cloud. You can see the candlesticks there, quite a lot of resistance coming through at the sell side there. So there's a likelihood that we can consolidate back down to the to this 15611 zone, which we now know is a major support zone on another chart, which used to be a major resistance zone. Will that support zone hold? And if that support zone fails, then we're going to dip back to 15.5 and 15.336, the front end cloud chart support level. And if the market's really weak, we can possibly test these bottom end cloud chart support levels. So watch out for that. It's now a little bit moving into profit-taking zone. These swing trades from here and this cloud cross swing trades moving into profit-taking zone. It's now stuck in quite a large range here, and that's a critical resistance zone on the Xetra Dax on the 4-hour Ichimoku. Turning to the 1-hour chart, where's that? Yep. You can see a beautiful rebound here from that level, broke past the cloud only to come back and then retest. So there was a beautiful swing trade there, that cloud chart rebound here at 14.850-60 zone, and we then had a subsequent cloud chart buy signal, a second trade there, and then a nice strong rally. When it gets extended from the cloud, bit of a consolidation back down to the cloud, and then another rally from that zone. Now it's getting the rally's getting a bit long in the tooth on the hourly, so there's downside consolidation risk to these standard line and turning line of the cloud, as well as the front end cloud chart support levels. So keep in mind that we could see these levels being tested. Now, if the DAX slices below the bottom end of the cloud here, that would change the outlook to bearish. But so far, still bullish with downside consolidation risk to critical cloud chart support levels. So looking at all 4 time frames, there's downside consolidation risk back down to the bottom end of the cloud support zone on the hourly. On the 4-hour, top end of the cloud, here's the next key support levels to keep an eye on, as well as this zone there. And on the daily, downside consolidation risk back down to the top end of the cloud to close the gap there. And on the weekly, we're running into significant weekly resistance zone, that range between the top end of the cloud there and the 16,000 zone. So the DAX is at risk of consolidating and digesting the most recent strong rebound rally we've had since the third quarter and fourth quarter of 2022, as well as the March very strong rebound rally, very steep rebound rally here in March in Q1 of 2023. Until next time, happy cloud chart trading. Bye for now.